Blessings Cancer, and welcome to my channel. You are watching Spotless Mind Tarot. My name is Cassandra, and today I will be your tarot reader. In this reading, we're going to look at the year ahead of 2025. I'm going to pull a card for each month, starting in January all the way to December. And we're going to get a look at each month to get a feel for what you could expect, what is going to be predicted and forecasted in this tarot reading anyways. Of course, this is good for Cancer, Sun, Rising, or Moon. If you don't know anything about your astrology, just go with your Sun sign. Cross-watchers are also welcomed in these readings. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So for January, we got the 8 of Pentacles. So to kickstart the year, I feel like January is going to be like a December for you, for like you're going to be able to wrap up 2024. Oh my gosh, in January. I will take that as a sign too whenever I drop cards, even though I'm just holding it wrong probably. It means something, right? Every little thing means something. So yeah, January, you might have to just like put things to the side and put things down so you can focus on what's important. This is a card about like apprenticeship. It's also about just like completing projects and finishing things up, paying attention to the small details. So in January, these are going to be themes that come up for you, having to pay attention to the details. Something might come back around to where you have to deal with it again and like finalize something. So like, for example, maybe you're writing a book and you sent it to the publishers and like you're waiting to hear back or something. January, you could be hearing back. Maybe there's some minor errors and mistakes or things they want you to change or fix in the book or something. So they could be something like that. And the book's just a metaphor, so apply it to how that works for you, how that's going to manifest for you. So it could just be anything that comes back that you have to like finish up on. Again, it's just like you're like adding to something, but it's more or less just like fixing errors, fixing minor mistakes. That's basically what I'm getting here. Some of you could even be starting school or something to do with a school project. So whatever it is some kind of project. It doesn't have to be anything like in the material world either. It could be a spiritual thing, like something you're working on internally. Either way, that seems to be the biggest thing for you guys here in January. You could also be receiving help from other people. Maybe it would be a good idea to get advice about something if you're stuck on a situation. Ask for advice from a professional, or just to get like a new view on things, get a new perspective. So yeah, that's like what we got for January. I don't think there's too much excitement going on. I feel like you are just kind of like wrapping things up. So for February, we got the 7 of Swords. And so I feel like this could be a continuation from January, or it could be something completely new beginning in February. But regardless, it's like you're having, every time I get this card, I always think of Cartman from South Park, which I'm not really like a big fan of South Park or anything, but I've seen plenty of episodes. But it's like where like people are like making fun of Cartman or something, and he just says, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." So like I always think that every time I get this card. It's just like, even though this card on its own generally represents like someone stealing and taking and being like underhanded and things like that, I sometimes I get like, it's just like you or somebody just saying like, forget you guys, I'm taking my shit and I'm going back home. I'm taking my ball, I'm going back home. So you could be a bit like conniving and mischievous. I hope not. Come February, like you might take something that doesn't belong to you, but on a more positive end, this is you just taking back what's yours. And that can manifest in any way. Like, maybe a relationship ends, and so you have to take back all your stuff. You know, like, maybe got like your stuff at your boyfriend's house and you have to go and retrieve it all or something like that. Or yeah, like it literally could just be anything where you're just taking back your stuff, or you're taking something that you think belongs to you, whether or not that's true. You know, so just be mindful. I feel like February can be a bit mischievous on your part, so you just want to, you know, you want to be good Cancers, okay? Like, I don't know, I feel like some of you guys watching, or I don't know, like, I don't know what to say. It's just, you know, you guys are a bit let's say rebellious, okay? And this is Moon in Aquarius, so it is a bit of a rebellious card. So maybe just February you could just be feeling a bit rebellious, a bit like, you know, fuck the system. You know, maybe this is like protest or something, or just like maybe you do something, I don't even want to say it. Like maybe you don't pay your taxes or something. Yeah, just don't take my advice, please. Like, pay your taxes, okay? You don't want to get in trouble. Unless you know what you're doing, but don't take my advice either way. Like, but yeah, like, just February just kind of has that vibe. So that could also just be like the people you're having to deal with, like they're like this. So it's like, overall, like, I don't think it's like bad, like maniacal. It's just like not fair. It's like cheating, you know, like, or cutting the line or something like that. Like, that's kind of the energy. So I don't know, February is really interesting for you guys. So come March, we've got the Two of Swords. So March could be a month where you have to make a really important decision here. It could be something life-changing, or it could just be a decision on a situation you're in. Maybe you're deciding on if you should go back to school or not. Either way, you've kind of reached a crossroads here. And so I would say take your time in March when making this decision. We'll see how the reading progresses, but you know, maybe it's not time to make a decision. Maybe you're kind of just be stuck in this place for a while, where you have to make a decision. So maybe it's like just not time. Like, you can't make it. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Otherwise, you know, you're just kind of at a place where you're not really sure what to do. I feel like some of you know what to do and some of you don't. And the situations, it's gonna be different for everybody. So like, some people, like, you know what your decision, but like you can't take any action yet because there's not time. Like, I don't know, maybe there's something you're gonna sign up for or buy tickets to something, and you decided to do it but you can't, and so you're like impatient, and then you kind of go back and forth like, oh, should I not, like the tickets don't go on sale into June, but I have the money now, should I just put it to the side, you know? So it could be something like that. Or maybe you're just like, you could even be waiting for a decision from somebody, you know, waiting to hear back from somebody, you know, waiting for a yes or no from somebody. So it could be, again, it could be a variety of things. You could just be in this position by choice, or just that's just the way things are for March. That's just what's going on. But regardless, I do feel like it's important and life-changing. Even though I mentioned something about like concert tickets, you never know. Maybe that concert's just like the most life-changing experience you'll ever have. And so, you know, maybe it's like an artist that's going into retirement and you're never going to see him again or something. So yeah, like it's just something life-changing or important and meaningful to you, something that's more personal, something that it definitely involves you. So if it is like someone else in this position having to make a decision, it still involves you very heavily. So for April, we got the Queen of Swords. And so I feel like if you had difficulties making the decision in March, or you had to wait for a decision in March, April I think is the time, because I did mention that there's a delay that could happen in March with making a decision for whatever reason. I feel like in April you can finally make that choice or receive an answer or whatever it is that's related to March. You can see it coming into existence in April. Okay, so there's some kind of final completion as well. I feel like the completion is just you rising to the occasion, rising to the throne. Being really mindful as well. There's a lot of mindfulness in April, a lot of more self-awareness. Okay, so that important thing that happened last month is bringing about an awareness within yourself. It could even just be of others. It has a lot to do with the mind and the way you think, or the way other people think. Maybe even the way someone communicates. And it's not so much the act of communicating, but it's like it's just in the way in which things are said, and like the words that are used. There's something like really important here with the words you're using in April. Okay, so maybe just an extended vocabulary, or just like I don't know, just something to just deal with words. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, just overall, I feel like you're really mindful of what you're saying, but you're also very vocal at the same time. You're really sure of yourself. You're really sure of the decisions you're making, and it's gonna be hard for someone to penetrate you and pause, and to like get through to you. So you could be like standing on business. You could yeah, it's interesting. Like, you're kind of just like, you don't really take into consideration what other people are saying. So be mindful of that. I mean, that could be good, that could be bad. And, it really depends on what it is that people are saying. Maybe there's nothing they could really say about your situation. But there is a lot of talk at the same time. There's a lot of talk in April. Okay, there's a lot going around, whatever that means. So for some of you, there could just be like rumors about you or something, or there's just like a lot of like, you're hearing a lot of rumors about other things or other people. Like, there's just like a lot of like talking going around, a lot of just words being exchanged, which is really interesting, that I'm picking up on that. So I don't want to sit on it for too long. These words are so funny. But that's April for you. For May, we got the Magician, and so this is fun. I mean, this is all about manifesting and bringing your imagination into existence, bringing things into existence, tapping into reality, and kind of just altering things. I kind of get a sense of like I guess like Minecraft or Sims, where you're kind of just in control and you're creating, like Minecraft, you can create and craft things, and then like the Sims, you're controlling simulated people, right? So that's like those kind of vibes are happening for you in May. You kind of just in control. I don't think like you're in control of others per se, but like that's just the archetypal energy that's happening for you in May. That magician energy, however that manifests for you, maybe quite literally you play The Sims, but yeah, like it's just all about it's really just about being in control of your reality, as much as you're able to be, because how much control do we really have after all? But May seems to be a good month for you to really just like, even just be creative is going to be really good for you. I feel like you could produce a lot. I feel like you can get a lot of results out of the things that you do create and the things that you are in control of. So if you're a parent and you have children and like maybe you get a hold of them, maybe they're like rambunctious, or maybe there's like a habit you're trying to break, that's not good for them, and like April or May you're able to like help them overcome it or something, or like something like potty training or something like that, or you help them do all that. So there's transition here. If you are a parent, there's a transition with your child of some kind, however that is going to manifest and look. It could simply be milestones, just overcoming certain things or certain difficulties. Whatever it is, I kind of feel like it has to do with age, if it's a child, or just like a habit or something like that. But it is like related to their age. So like maybe this year is just a big year for them in terms of like, I don't know, like the age they're turning, like the actual number, or just they just step into like a whole new essence of themselves. Like they really like become themselves this year, which is really cool. That's a really cool message for all the parents out there. And as for you, yeah, you just like you're just able to do a lot. I'm also getting something about like house decoration or like renovation or like buying stuff for the home. Like he's got a really nice looking space. He's got flowers, and then he's got his tools on the table and whatnot. But so I feel like your space could just be improving overall, whatever that means, however that looks for you. Your personal space, your environment is changing for the better. We're stepping into the springtime here. We're in the spring. We're well into the spring. We're going into summer in June, so the next month it will be summertime. So yeah, like things could just be clearing up as like a seasonal thing, like a natural occurrence. And like the magician energy, it could just be like natural things coming into existence for you. Just physics. You push something, it's gonna put it into motion. That's kind of like what manifesting is. You're just putting things into motion. You're putting stuff into the universe. You're setting it into motion anyways. So yeah, like this could be a good month for you to start something brand new in your life. It could yield some amazing results. So that's May. For June, we got the Emperor. You guys are going to be stepping into a position of authority. Again, however that's going to look for you, it depends. But yeah, you're going to be put in a position of authority to where people are going to look up to you. People are going to take your advice. So it could be like really direct, or it could just be like an influence. Like you just influence people to do better and be better. I feel like you're really just like taking more control. After in May we had the Magician, and now here in June we have the Emperor. So like May is about taking the control, and June's like being in control. Okay, so I feel like you're just rising to the occasion. You're stepping into a new position, however that looks. This could be parenthood, because I've mentioned that as well. You have a fighting spirit in June, so that could be really helpful for whatever it is you're going through. There is something about Cancer. I don't know if that just quite literally means the sign Cancer or actual Cancer. So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's just a message I got. So it's something to be mindful of, but please don't be alarmed. I don't think it's you, but otherwise it could just be the sign Cancer. But yeah, I don't... It's hard delivering these messages sometimes. I don't know what that means. It's just something that's coming up. So there could be like an illness in the family or something. I don't know, or just some kind of like self-discovery, but it may not be a good thing or something. It could even just, I don't know, it could just be bittersweet. So I don't know, it's a really interesting vibe we got going on here. Okay, but overall, I feel like regardless of what it is, I feel like you are in control, and like you're calm, cool and collected. Like I feel like not much is gonna bring you down. So even if there are like serious things that come up, I feel like it's not gonna take you off your throne. It's not gonna, because the emperor is a warrior as well. He's got armor on. You could see under his robe he's got armor on, and he's like even like on his shoulder he's got some armor there. So like he's ready to go. He's ready for anything because he has to be. He's the emperor. Like everyone's coming for his position. So that's probably another message. Like just be mindful of other people trying to take you down, or situations that are trying to take you down. So I think that's where that heaviness and seriousness is coming in. But again, I feel like you're still gonna stay in position of power here. I think just like with the authority comes everything that you have to deal with. Like if this is work, you're having to put fires out at work. Like that just comes with the position. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's June for you guys. So for July, we got 2 cards for you. We got the 10 of Wands in reverse and the 4 of Wands. So it's really interesting because I feel like there's 2 different dynamics happening here. For one, this could be this could be a variety of things to occur. This could be you being like really overwhelmed with everything that's going on in the world, and either like you're in denial about it, or you're trying to hide it from other people, or you're finally giving up that control, giving up the responsibility of carrying the weight. Okay, it's really different for everyone how that's going to manifest. Also, this could just be you ignoring responsibilities. With the 4 of Wands here, it could deal with family matters in the home. It's such an interesting vibe we got going on in July. So there could be a lot moving around within the home. Maybe you do have to change residence. Maybe you are renovating this year. I picked that up earlier too. Like there's some kind of renovation happening within the home. Or kind of like responsibilities. I do feel strongly there's children involved, but it's just the home in general. So it maybe not your own children, but others' children. Yeah, I just feel like July is a bit confusing. It might be kind of upside down a bit. It's really interesting, this card though, with like the responsibility and like it's such a mix. Like I feel like you're doing too much in one area and not enough in another area. Also, I feel like there's something you're doing that people aren't aware about as well. Okay, it could be what I just mentioned or something else. So like I said, like there's a lot going on, so it could all be like one thing or a bunch of different things, but somehow like they're related to each other, or it's largely going to be in relation to the home. It doesn't have to be, but that's like what is coming up here with the 4 of Wands, because that has to do with home and relationships and things. You could also be putting something away, saving something for a rainy day. I do get a strong sense that you're hiding something, or you're trying to hide something because you don't want someone to find out. So that could be good or bad. That's whatever it is that's just coming up in this reading. So that's just a theme that's happening. regardless, there's a strong focus on the home and like your personal space as well. Okay, just like your environment, you're looking to beautify your environment. You're looking to improve the environment regardless of what's going on. I feel like it's just like really important to you in July to have a safe, comfortable environment. You could also be having guests over, and so this could even be like you like hiding skeletons in the closet so like guests don't find out, or like family members show up and you got like stuff you got to put away because you don't want them to see it or something like that. But you are definitely trying to hide something, whatever that is. Again, I've mentioned all kinds of things that it could be. It's hard to say because different people are watching. So that's basically July for you guys. For August, we got the Hermit. And so this is an interesting transition from June, July to August now. I feel like you're really gonna start to isolate a little bit more. This is the Leo season. This is Leo going into Virgo season. So we went through your birthday season, and now I kind of just feel like you want to withdraw a little bit. It could just be because of all the responsibilities you've had to deal with and like everything else that's been going on this year. You might just want to like retreat a little bit more, stay in a bit more. But also at the same time, you can receive some really profound insights in August, and it has a lot to do with yourself. So it could be something really spiritual or just some kind of self-realization about yourself. And it puts you into like this hermit kind of mindset where you're going to ponder it a lot. It's going to come up in your psyche a lot. So there's something that you're dealing with here. If it's like a spiritual thing, regardless what it is, it's some kind of self-realization. It could be connected to the past, so just your childhood, or if you want to go there, it could be a past life. It could be something ancestral, like generational. Maybe a secret about the family gets revealed to you, like something you didn't know about your parents or something gets revealed, and it kind of makes you question things. And it kind of like sheds light on a situation as well. It's like, oh, well, that kind of explains some things that happened in my childhood, and then it makes you really think about it some more. Like, wow, that actually really affected me. Or I wonder what it would have been like if that didn't happen and this happened instead, or you know what I mean? So like overall, there's a lot of like self-reflection and just some kind of realization that you're going to have about yourself, some deep introspection here with the Hermit. And it's cool and all because I like the Hermit card. I was a hermit myself for many years. Now I had to get a job and go out in the world and do dumb job things, but I like my alone time. I love my solitude. I love to be alone. And so, a lot of good can come out of it, just really sitting with yourself. One thing that I like about solitude is that you're able to really just be yourself, right? And as Cancers, I think you guys are familiar with that because you guys generally do like to spend time alone. Although I feel like you guys are a bit of a social sign, considering your Cancer, right? Considering that you're a water sign, you're a bit more sociable. But yeah, one thing I like is that like you could really just be yourself. You're not influenced by other people, and especially if like you take breaks from like social media and like the TV and things like that, like stuff that can influence you. You could really get to know yourself a bit more and really connect with the parts of yourself that maybe have gone silent because of the world. I mean, that's pretty typical for all of us, even for me, although I'm a hermit, I'm not completely alone. I have a family, and so, that influences me as well. But I feel like, great, I lost what I was saying. I hate when that happens. But so whatever that message was, I just lost it. I hate when that happens. I guess spirit doesn't want me to go there. Maybe I just have a really dumb brain sometimes. Like, there's some wiring that some stuff's not doing its thing up there in my head. But yeah, that's August. I'm sorry. I hate when that happens. I genuinely do. Like, I feel it's so awkward. So I have to end it there because I've lost the message completely. So that's August for you. So September, we got the Eight of Pentacles. You might be making a really big decision here to walk away from something major in your life. You know, we went through the hermit phase, and so because of all this, that self-realization you had, that was like really like profound, is like really like kind of shifted your perspective. September, I feel like you're having to walk away and step away from something or someone as a result. Okay, this generally is a temporary thing, like it's a temporary journey away from what it is you're having to leave behind. But regardless, there's something you have to leave behind in September. It could be an old self, it could be a belief system, whatever it was in August. It's that comes up. You're probably gonna have to walk away from it now in September. And that's probably why I lost the message. You know, I was going off about something in August, and then I completely lost what I was saying. So that could just be the vibe in September. Like, you gain it and now you have to lose it, or you have to walk away from it. Okay, we are dealing with Saturn in Pisces, and currently Saturn is in Pisces. I don't know the astrology for next year exactly, but Saturn should still be in Pisces. Maybe it might be in Aries now in August. Honestly, I don't know. Regardless, if it's not in Pisces anymore, there could be something that came up during its transit in Pisces, so the past like year or so, maybe 2 years. I honestly, I don't know these things. It's so funny because I'm an astrologer and I don't know these things. I just choose not to remember everything. It's just, there's too much information in the world. Okay, I'm always learning something. I'm always like researching too, so it's like I gotta make room for all the new information coming in. But regardless, like there could be something, a lesson that was learned with Saturn and Pisces that just like, you know, now you have to put it into effect here. And it's really like letting go of something, of the old, of the past, essentially. Okay, so you want to look at where Saturn is in your chart as well, and look at where Pisces is in your chart if you're familiar, to get a deeper understanding of what this could be. Especially wherever Pisces is in your birth chart is where, how you could see it manifest in your life. Okay, it's kind of like a somber month. It's kind of a deep month. It's almost like your actions are going to speak louder than words. So whatever you do in September, whatever actions you take, it's going to be noticed. I don't think you're going to like get a walk away without people noticing. Even if it's metaphorical, like it's not going to go unnoticed. It might be like unspoken or not talked about, but it's definitely noticed. Okay, maybe there's nothing that needs to be said, and it's really just walking away. It's really just, you know, you got to do your thing essentially in September. Okay, so be mindful. You don't want to abandon anything, but you do want to let go of something not meaningful or not important or necessary. And I believe it has something to do with something that came up in August, but it could also just be like a period, a transitional out of, you know, like Saturn and Pisces, like I mentioned, like just, you know, it could be something that was like long, like your entire life, and you didn't realize it until August, and now you're letting it go. Okay, or it could just be whatever new comes up in August, you have to let go in September. So that's what I got for September. So October, we got the Four of Swords. So October is a good month for rest and relaxation. It could also be a month of defeat, finally accepting defeat, or kind of just like giving up in a sense. But I feel like it's necessary, and this could just be a continuation from September of having to walk away from something. And it's really because of this, because you need to like recuperate, you need to regenerate even. It's not a good month to really take on the world. You want to really just fall back and focus on your own well-being. I feel like there's just going to be a lot of exhaustion as well. Like you're just going to be depleted of energy. So if that happens, don't be alarmed. It's what's happening, it's what's coming up for you. So just take it easy in October. Like, don't overdo it, don't overthink it. You know, if you need time off, if you need a vacation, this could be a good time. But if you do take a vacation, I don't think it's one to where you should go out and do a bunch of stuff. It should just be one to where you can relax and really take care of yourself. Because it's just not a good month for a lot of activity. It's best to just kind of pull back and hold back. But if anything, it's really just about taking care of yourself, okay? Because you're just like, you're exhausted. You just, and it's just what it is. So be mindful of your health as well. If you are like physically like exhausted to where it's like you're not doing anything to like prompt that, like you're not like working out or something, like you're just like you're exhausted and you're eating fine, like check out your health. So that could be another thing too. If you do work out, maybe just take it easy. Don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it. Whatever it is in October, don't overdo it. It's just not a good time. Overall, I feel like the vibes are pretty good though. Like I feel like things are good. I feel like your world is good and the people around you are in a good place. And maybe you are too. It's just you really just need some time out. You kind of just, or you just kind of be like the fly on the wall. Like even if you are very sociable and you're going out and doing stuff, maybe just avoid being the life of the party and kind of just hold back a bit, kind of just do your thing. For November, we got the Wheel of Fortune. So this is pretty cool. I got this for Aries and Taurus, and now I got it for you guys. So I take it as a sign that there's like a lot of collective things happening, even though you guys got this at different times. I do feel like because I'm getting this often that there's some kind of activation happening. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it basically just says that things are gonna start churning around in November. Things are the unpredictable things are gonna occur. And that's kind of what it is too. Like as a tarot reader, the Wheel of Fortune is just like it's the wheel in motion, so it hasn't necessarily landed yet, although it could. But it just tells me that your fate is being decided essentially. It's not really a card of a determined outcome. It usually just means that we don't know what the outcome is. And especially because this is a public reading, everyone's different. And so basically you're being judged by the universe and by fate. This is a wheel of fate. And it's turning. So November is a month where it's going to turn, and where it lands will be solely dependent on fate and karma and whatever else is going on in the world. So November, I think, is another month of introspection as well, and another month of just kind of like allowing things to flow. I feel like in October, you got a break and you got a pause. November, things are going to pick up again. But it's still going to be like out of your control. And so you want to just allow everything to flow in November, and to know that things are being decided right now. The universe is deciding things for you right now. And you're not going to know until they've made their final decision. This could even be linked to the month where we got the Two of Swords, which was March, I believe. And so March and November can be connected. Maybe in March, if there was a decision that had to be made, and if that it never happened, in November you could probably see that decision finally being made here with the Wheel. At the bottom of the deck, we got Seven of Cups. So be wary of illusions and delusions, your own delusions as well as the illusions of reality and of others. Don't believe everything you're hearing. I feel like this is like a salesman trying to sell you something and pitch an idea, but there's like, they have like a card up their sleeve is what I'm getting. So just be really wary of that, wary of all your options, but also knowing that like choice, this is gonna be crazy, but choice is an illusion. At least when it comes to November with like this reading, like the illusion of choice, maybe you think you have a choice but you don't. And like the Wheel of Fortune, we don't have a choice, it's not up to us. So just regardless, whenever it comes to choice, be very mindful of that. You're not getting the full picture, you're not being told everything. There's fine print involved. That's basically the energy for November. So there's some cautionary. At the same time though, with the Wheel, you know, it's generally a very positive thing in the sense that, you know, it's very karmic, especially with all the imagery on this card and like what everyone represents. You know, they represent like the four gates. Well, witchcraft, like we call it gates, but it's just like guardians. You're being judged, but it's like divine judgment. It's and it's not like God's judgment per se, which, if you know you're religious, and I don't mean to offend or anything, but these are his court. These are his angels. And yeah, like I don't want to get into it too much, but basically that's what's happening in November. This is ruled by Jupiter as well, so there could be a lot of good luck that happens in November too. And I did mention something about cards up the sleeve, so if you are gambling, be mindful if you're like doing poker and like playing against other people. But otherwise, I do feel like it is like a good month for like good luck to come into your life. You know, but take caution, like have discernment. Like if you don't typically gamble, then don't just start gambling thinking you're gonna win. And if you do typically gamble, don't take my advice because I don't know what I'm talking about, but like this is just what's coming up. Gambling's coming up. So because of Jupiter, there could be good luck and fortune, but also Jupiter expands everything it touches, so for better or worse. So keep that in mind as well. You could lose a lot of money or you can win a lot of money. Regardless, you want to just kind of like let things be decided by the universe instead of trying to make the decisions for yourself. For December, we got the Seven of Pentacles, and so this is kind of like a nice card to wrap up the year. It is about like taking stock of what you've got. It's like a month before the harvest. It's, you know, just also just kind of like appreciating how far you've come. I feel like there's a lot that you're having to overcome this year, and you know, you rise to the occasion every time. I don't think it's going to be like an overly difficult year per se. Like it's definitely not the worst year for you, but it is going to have some there are going to be some hurdles that you have to get over. I feel like overall for the year too, it's just been kind of like neutral, you know, and I feel like a lot of it depends on your perception of things, and that will probably be like another thing that comes up a lot is you realizing how much of your own perceptions really shape your reality and things like that. And so December, It's definitely a month where you're going to reflect on the year, and also just like reflect on any progress you make, whatever it may be, school, career, family, whatever it is, health, whatever it is. You're going to really reflect on all the work you've put in, and you're going to see results too. Like you're seeing the results, but it's like I'm hearing like a small victory or a minor win. My gosh. Okay, but it's like not like the final win. Like this isn't the end. Like there's still more to do, but you've definitely accomplished a lot. So like whatever it is, I feel like it's long lasting. And also like, so if it's like your health, like obviously you have to keep taking care of your health. You can't just like eat healthy for a year and that's it, right? It's still a work in progress. And so this could be another month too where you kind of evaluate like what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what do you want to keep, what you've learned. I feel like there's just like a lot of like looking back on what you've learned in the past year, alone especially, but just overall in life, and whatever manifests. So Pentacles is very materialistic. It's very much to do with the physical reality. So it can be finances because it is Pentacles, but whatever it is, it's you will be able to see the results. Like it's something tangible. Even if it is something within you, it's still something like very noticeable by yourself and maybe like other people. So if it is like some kind of internal thing that you go through, like everyone's gonna know it, everyone's gonna see it, or you're gonna have like some kind of proof or some kind of like evidence for it. Okay, because it's manifesting physically here. I'm hearing it's been a wild ride. I'm also hearing after all this time, after all that. So overall, I feel like you're very satisfied though with how far you've come. Just know that there's still more work to be done, but like you feel completion. So it is like a small win. It is a minor victory. But I wouldn't say small in the sense that like it's in size, but compared to the big picture, it's just half the story. But I still feel like you guys are just like, you're really gonna end the year feeling really accomplished and feeling really like fulfilled, and it's just like, yeah, like I did that, and I love that. Like I love what I'm feeling right now, because it just, I do feel like a sense of accomplishment. Like it's an interesting feeling. Like you'll know when you get there. I can't describe the feeling. Like you have to feel it for yourself. So you probably will. So rest assured. Yeah, it's cool. It's a really cool feeling. So that's basically all I got for December and for the year 2025. So Cancer, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope these messages reached you. They've been kind of interesting, and I am a bit tired doing this reading, but I'm glad I'm able to get the message out. They seemed a bit short compared to like the Aries reading was pretty long, or even like the Taurus one. The Taurus reading was probably the longest, but regardless, like I got the message out, and I think that's what is important. Okay, and so thank you so much for watching me and making it to the end of this video. And if you come back and watch month by month, I'm gonna upload each month, every month for the year 2025. So you don't have to come back to this video. You could just watch those monthly videos if you like, to get some insight, and also to kind of like see like how much of what I said is true or not. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys. So thank you once again for watching. If you would like to book a private reading, they're available on my Etsy shop, and only on my Etsy shop. I don't have any impersonators on the internet, but just in case it does happen, just know that's the only place you can get a reading for me, is on my Etsy shop, which is linked below in the description. I am recording this in December 2024, so if you're looking to get a reading for me this month, sorry, but it can't happen. I'm really busy. I'm not taking any private readings until January 2025. So thank you once again for watching, and I wish you all the best.